I'm wondering why the chat box. I'm wondering why the chat box is empty. Yes, please feel free to send messages on the chat box. Let's make this as interesting as possible. I know there's no dull moments for me. But for now, I'm going to be playing music. So in case you have any requests, let me know. Eh, eh. Eh. I'm really just having fun over here. Okay, let's give some special shout out. Hello, Adibola. Okay, let me start from people on the chat first because those are. Hello, Kelvin. Welcome. Hello, Alero. Welcome. Adibola. Welcome. Adibola David. Elizabeth. Hi. Hello, Adi. Hello, Akim, Biondu, Dari, Gift, Henry. Hello, welcome. Eh, eh, mm. Hi, Dari. Eh. Okay, guys, we're starting soon. I just want everybody to get talking on the comments first before we get this webinar started. You know how it is with me now, guys. You know how it is with me. It's all fun, it's all interesting. That's about it. That's all we're doing. Let me know how your day is going. Let me know how your day went. Let me know how work went. Let me know how you're doing in general. Just talk to me. Just to me. Let me know what's happening in your life first before we get to this webinar. Before we get to this webinar, talk to me. Let me know. How was your day? How are you doing in general? How has this week been? Has this week been hectic? Because for me, today was kind of like today was it was chilled, right, compared to yesterday, but um I'm happy it's just almost over, and I get to enjoy the rest of the day, especially with you guys. So let me know how your own day is going. Let me know how you are doing. Let me know how, just talk to me, just me. If you want to just me about, I'm your girl. I'm your girl. Talk to me. I like to know the process. Calm down. Do like this. Calm down. We'll get to your questions. We'll get to whatever you have to impute in this webinar. We'll get to that. Chill, chill, chill. For now, let me know how your day is going, how you guys are doing. We're going to start with that first. I need to see this comments running up. Let's run it up. Let's run it up. How are you guys doing? Let me know. Oh, hi, Cassandra. Fine, thanks. And you? Like I said, I'm all good. I'm doing all right. Thank you for asking. How long is the webinar? Well, you know how I like to have my webinars. So yeah, it's not going to be for so long, about an hour, and we're done. So we need it as impactful as possible, right? I'm still waiting for your reply, guys. I'm still waiting for your comments. How are you doing? How's your day going? Before we start. And while we're doing that, do not forget to also share this link to as much people as you can, your friends, your family, your anybody you know will need this. Please send them the link. Let's get this participants rolling up. I want to see 150. Let's get this to 50 first and get to 100, 200. And yeah, that's about it. Share this link, please. Let's get more people here. I mean, I'm here. I'm here. Darius said, okay, we are good. Dari, why are you talking for everybody? What if others are not good? What if others are not good? anyways, we are starting now. As you know, I'm your girl. As you know, I'm your girl, Anita, your favorite girl, of course. If there's any other person that's your favorite, I don't even want to know. I'm your favorite. Yes, I'm forcing it on you guys. I'm your favorite. So yeah, my name is Anita, and yeah, I think we need to start the time. Of course, that's what we're doing right now. So today we would be touching on how to save time and money getting green cards and work permits as a high achieving professional. If you did not get that, I'll say it again. We are talking about saving time and money, getting green cards and work permits as a high achieving professional. So we're basically going to touch on how to provide you with insights and strategies to make this process, that is your green card process, visa process, and your work permit, as smooth and cost effective or more cost effective as possible. And in this webinar, you learn a lot of things, right? You learn about the steps to securing your green card or your work permit. You get to hear from people that have traveled out and you know, how they were able to avoid common pitfalls, how they were able to work their way around it, and ways to also maximize your chances of success generally, because the whole point is for everyone here to be able to migrate seamlessly and easy as possible, right? And I'm thrilled, I'm excited, I'm eager. Like if you're especially if you're a professional aiming to relocate to the US, UK, or Canada, you know that navigating the immigration process can be very stressful. And like I said always, or like I always say, Vesti is just here to give you soft life. If it's not soft life, it's not Vesti. That's it. If it's not soft life, it's not Vesti. So we're doing this also in collaboration with PBN. If you don't know PBN, that's Premier Business Network, and they just had an amazing conference. When I tell you it was amazing, I was there personally, and it was beautiful. To be honest, I've not really been to so much conferences, right? I've never been to so much, but this one I went for, and it was beautiful. The networking was easy, and by conference, I'm talking about Growth Conference, right? By PBN. It was beautiful, and this is from personal experience, right? Because like I said, this is one of my. I don't think I attend so much conferences, but this one, the networking was easy. The people were so friendly. Everybody there was so friendly, and you just get to you have a direction, and you just know what you're going to do there, and it was just beautiful. That's really all I have to say. So we would have, or we have rather, we have PBN here with us. You already saw the poster, so I won't get too much on that. And we're just here to make this easy for everyone. So this is going to be an exciting one. Like I always say, get your pen and your paper. Get ready to jot things down. Get ready to jot things down, because it's going to be very impactful and and exciting. So we're going to have some few people on call. I want to believe some of our guests are here already. I'm already seeing Bumi. Hello, Bumi. If you can hear me, or if you're available right now to join, please do. Thank you so much.
All
While we wait,
right. Um,
hello,
hello,
Bumi.
Anita. How are you? Good evening, everyone. My name is Olubumi Opadoyi, and it's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you, Bumi. Thanks so much for being here today. So I'm just going to wait for all the guests to confirm that they are here right before we begin with my many, trust me, I have a lot of questions to ask. I have a lot of questions to ask today, and I know that you also have your questions written down ready to ask those guests. So get your questions ready. We're going to touch on as much as we can touch on today. Before then, let me keep vibing. Good evening. Oh, so I see that we have Mr. I don't know if I'm going to get this correctly, permit me if I'm wrong. Oluwa Busi. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Or help me
Yeah,
with the pronunciation rather. Hello, good evening.
you actually tried. My
I
name is
tried?
Oluwabusi. Yeah, you tried.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm
Hello, nice to
Oluwabusi.
have you today. It's really a pleasure.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
I think we can start, guys, right? I think we can start. Or should I give us a bit more time? Okay, so we're just going to start, right? Just get into it. Again, I'm so excited that we have Mr. Oluwa Busui again, right? And he is the co-founder and managing director of CAF Limited and CAF Universe. Please, can you give us a brief intro? Let's know who you are for those that do not know.
Yeah, good evening, all.
Good
I
evening.
hope you can hear me. All right,
Yes, of
yeah.
course we can.
So, she has tried to, introduce me. She she almost butchered my name. So don't worry.
I'm so
We'll send
sorry.
you we'll send you a bill for butchering the name. So I'm Oluwabusi. I'm an architectural technologist who plays, in the built environment. Real estate development and construction. So I've been in business for about 15 years in Nigeria before I started my global journey. So I came in contact with Vesti in 2022 through a webinar like this, and since then it's been a great pleasure to be part of the family. My application was filed and I was guided throughout the process by Vesti. So that's why I'm presently joining the webinar from Houston, Texas. It's about
Oh,
17 minutes past 12 noon from here, and it's quite sunny. It's quite sunny. So,
I can
I,
see.
yeah. So, 2 years in business in US now, and we thank God. And it's been so far so good.
That's fine. That's fine. Thank you so much for that little introduction. I know you don't want to show
Welcome.
yourself. It's fine. It's fine. But thank you so much for that
You're
introduction.
welcome.
But I would like to ask, what motivated you to consider moving to a new country?
Well, it's a global world. You
Yeah.
understand? The world is becoming a global village. So, but to answer the question directly, I went for a short program. The program is called Owners Manager Program at LBS in 2022. And, that was when I started thinking about going global, that at least I have some skills, I have some expertise that are exportable. I don't want to be traveling abroad just for holidays. I want to go, and when I'm coming back, I should also be able to bring something back from abroad. So that's the background to my global journey.
Okay, thank you. Well, I personally feel like, honestly, I would say like majority of people in Nigeria, I know that most of my friends want to move or want to relocate. So, this is why this is important for everybody, because I mean, we all want to be high achieving professionals, right? In whatever sense or whatever we are doing. So, it's just really exciting you being here today. I have more questions for you. Please, just stay put. I have so much questions for you today.
That's fine.
Yes. What kind of visa did you use? We'll get to that. We will
Okay.
get to all of that. We will get to all of that. Just prepare your questions. Hi, Bumi.
Hi, Anita.
Hello, Bumi. So we're talking about green cards and work permits. Can you just give us a quick the key steps into how the application process is that professionals need to be aware of generally?
Okay, so I think the first thing, thank you so much for that question. Thank you. Good evening once again to everyone. And Mr. Fakunlu, it's great to see you again.
Thank you.
The first thing I want to mention is for every visa type that grants a work permit or a green card, you want to know the requirements. You want to know what is required of you. And the very important thing, aside knowing the requirements, is knowing how you meet this criteria or how you are able to meet this criteria, because there is no point knowing the green cards or the work permits if you do not meet the category. Or even if you're not meeting the category at the moment, how do you meet the category? So every visa, like I tell thousands of clients every time, every visa type as even student visa as a category, as its criteria, as its minimum requirement. So for the US, I know that the minimum requirement you need to meet for the least work permit I know, which is the H-1B, is a bachelor's degree. You need to have your bachelor's degree. However, there are other visas that have work permit in them. You have the O1 where it does not have an educational background, but has its own criteria and how you are able to meet all of this. So for the H1B, which is currently being run as a campaign at Vesti, the minimum requirement is that you have your bachelor's degree. If you have your bachelor's degree, you qualify for this, and it is valid for 3 years, renewable only once, after which you migrate onto a green card or you exit. However, for the O1, which is mostly known as the alien with extraordinary ability, it has no educational background, so to speak. However, you need to meet a set of criteria. I'm going to brush through this criteria. The first criteria is, have you ever judged the work of others? When you say judging the work of others, it means, have you ever reviewed anyone's work? If you say that, okay, you've worked in this capacity for the past 5 to 10, 15, 20 years, of course, you have had people work under you in your department. You've been made supervisor or head of this. You've been part of an interview panel, invited before, they would like to recruit into your department and you were invited as part of the panel. So have you judged the work of others this way? When they reviewed your work, where you sent a thank you? Another thing is, have you been invited on panel sessions? Have you moderated a panel session? That is another criteria. Another criteria is, do you have memberships? If you've been a member of the JCI as a business-oriented individual, as an entrepreneur, you belong to the International Chambers of Commerce. You also, belong to the Forbes Council. Do you have memberships as related to your field? People in management will have the National Institute of Management, the one for real estate. I think we have the National Realtors. You also have across fields, people in the field of arts. They belong to, they have their own memberships. as aligned to your field, actually. So do you have memberships? If you have memberships, do you have publications, either published or unpublished? Have you written articles? If you have any of this, great. Toyosi Abayo, thank you. For accountants, you can have ICANN. Yes, ICANN is very, very significant as well. So it is as aligned to your field. As do you have any of this? Aside judging the work of others, very significant thing I need to mention. They want to ask, unlike other countries that will ask you for proof of funds, because this is also a question I get basically, do I need proof of funds? For this process, you do not need a proof of funds. However, you need to show that you earn a high salary. Now, the high salary is country dependent. The high salary in the US and the UK is not the same with Nigeria, Liberia, or Kenya, Rwanda. For Nigeria, I can give you a minimum. If you earn anything above 450,000 naira at the moment, the USCIS considers you as a high earner. So you qualify for that category. Are you employed in key capacity? Now, a lot of people ask questions. What do you mean by key capacity? Key capacity means, are you the head of your department if you work for a multinational? Do you belong in a managerial role, a supervisory role? Are you the CEO, COO, CTO, CFO? Are you in any supervisory or managerial role? And I think I can always grade it. If you tell me you've gotten to a managerial role in a bank, I think I can equate to the number of years or the impact you have had in that particular department to be promoted to that level. So you can be seen as key capacity. Then another thing we want to know, aside earning, is have you ever authored a book? Now, this is more related. Don't forget that I said it's more like aligned to your field. You can tell me you are a coach, a business coach, a motivational speaker, or you belong in fields like that, and you don't have a book to your name. Good if you don't have a book to your name. We're also able to align you with scribes. I think I once worked with one of our success stories who had interest in writing a book for the past 3 years, but hadn't gotten to it because it's just been flying and busy. And he said, okay, if this would help my field, this is how I need to do. And we had to tell them, okay, these are the bodies you will be aligned to. Give them your idea and the book will be brought to life. So there are ways you can be supported. And I always tell people at Vesti, we only have 2 categories. Is either you are well documented and qualified, or you are working to be documented, to be well documented and qualified. And the good thing about this entire processes and green cards is you can pre-qualify to know if you're qualified for this process or how far along you need to work. Now that for the O1. The green card, you have the EB1, the EB2. The requirements for the EB1 is same as the O1, however, much more intense. What I mean by much more intense is the fact that O1 is valid for 3 years, and they can ask for a number of the criteria for you to meet. However, for the EB1, it's a lot more intensive because it is green card valid for 10 years. So before they give you that, they are a lot more stringent. So the criteria is the same, but the extent of the evidences provided need to be more. For example, if it takes you 3 publications to be qualified for the O1 category, know that you need to meet about 6 or 7 publications to be qualified for the EB1. And they're a lot more stringent. So that is that. Now, do you need to meet all of those 8 criteria? The answer is no. The USCIS expects that you meet just 3 of them. However, at Vesti, we are able to work with you to meet with about 5 or 6 of them. And the reason is because we want to present you as overwhelmingly qualified. I've seen over time where a lot of people will, they would expect that the USCIS will focus on this category. Meanwhile, they want a lot more evidences in other categories as well. So once you're overwhelmingly qualified, they're able to satisfactorily preview you. And what you expect is an approval. Yes, so, and another green card that is more like it is the EB2 NIW. This is a bit different from the EB1 because this is academic based. While I said you need to meet requirements, and you see that I do not put education background in the O1 or the EB1. For the EB2 NIW, you need to you need to actually meet an educational requirement for this particular process. You need to have an advanced degree. And the reason why we ask for advanced degree is because all of your citations, dissertations would matter in this category. Aside the educational background, you need to also prove that you have up to 10 years of work experience, because every other requirement, more like if you've gotten awards, or aside awards, if you have work experiences, recommendations, along the line of your 10-year work experience, is they're also going to require that in that same field, you know, what are the impacts you have made? With the impacts that you can show forth, what are you bringing into the United States as your own proposed endeavor, what you're coming into the United States to do to deserve a national interest waiver. So that's it about the work permit and the green card in summary.
Thank you so much, Bumi. That was quite. She just said everything in a nutshell, basically. I would like to ask Mr. I still have a problem with your name. I don't know why I don't seem to get it. I'm so sorry, Mr. Oluwabusuyi. Yes, I think that's it. So I would like to ask you, right? What are the challenges, or what were the biggest challenges you faced when you first decided to move abroad as a professional, right? Were there any specific challenges in securing a work permit, especially in, you know, understanding the different types of visas and the eligibility criteria? So are there any specific challenges or any big challenges you went through? And of course, you use Vesti, right? So how was Vesti able to assist you in making this process a lot easier than usual?
Thank you. So I'd like to thank Vesti again for the good job that they did on my application. So you talked about the challenge. It was a very big challenge for me to go through the process, because, you know, since I've been coming to US since 2017, you know, I've seen a lot that, I mean, life is a lot easier if you have your job, if you have your business on this part, I mean, of the world. So since then, I've been doing some little researches, but I never made up my mind at that point. So I've been to some attorneys in the US. They will, I mean, several advices that I should come and do asylum, or if I have enough money to do EB5. And then I think it was around $400,000. So it was quite challenging. If I have $400,000, why will I carry such a huge amount to invest on migrating or getting a work permit in the US? But, you know, after I finished my program in 2022, that I started taking it seriously. It was then that I came across a webinar that Mr. Jimmy Tewe did with Vesti. So I went through the webinar and I got all the information. And when I told my people that I think I might qualify for the O1, they were like, are you sure you are not patronizing some 419s? How that the thing sounded too good to be true. But, you know, given the experience of Vesti, their connections and their thoroughness, I was able to have a one-on-one call with the founder, Mr. Shola, with the co-founder. And it was like, Mr. Fakolu, don't worry. You are not in a bad place. You're not in a bad place. If you give us enough time, we'll be able to work with you. I mean, you know, because, you know, back home in Nigeria, we do a lot of things unofficially. I've been doing construction business and real estate business since 2009, that I pulled out from the expatriate company that I was working with, a construction firm in Abuja. They are Lebanese. So I left them in 2009. So you'll be surprised that between 2009 and 2002 that I've been running my business, there was a very big gap in documentation. You can imagine building houses for people, doing some real estate transactions without proper documentation. So that was when I knew about the importance, even if your client is your brother or your mother or your father, that you have to put these things in document and keep them. So it was challenging because I wanted something that I'll be able to come to the US, because I can't abandon the business that I built in Nigeria since 2009 and just say I'm in search of a greener pasture. It might look greener, but at least the hand that has fed you, your source, you don't just want to throw away some loyal clients. So the challenge was the timing. How long will it take me to have, this visa to be able to go in and out, and not just to visit, like I said earlier, to be able to transact business, because in the US, there are so many opportunities, legitimate opportunities. I'll be honest with you. If you are patient and you come to the US legally, not coming to overstay on your visit visa. Because I met with a couple of friends before meeting Vesti that they said, they just tell me, don't worry, Mr. Fakoli, when next you are coming, just come with your family. You can go back to Nigeria to go and continue your business. By the time your children overstay, we can see how we'll get a lawyer to do as I said, no, I don't want to be trapped in the system, because if you don't come to US legally, you are simply going to be trapped. I'll be honest with you. You are going to, you won't be able to get a social security number. And without social security number, you won't be able to get good accommodation. Not even good accommodation. Nobody is going to give lease their property to you without social security number. You won't be able to open bank account. You won't be able to do a lot of things. And that's the reason why you see some people complaining it's not easy in America. I'm not saying it's easy. This is personal, because I have a friend that said, if you're a lizard in Lagos, you can't get to America and you become an alligator. You have to own your skills very well. Make yourself marketable. So I was thinking about the duration. I was thinking about the mobility, how to be able to go and come back. I have a lot of clients back home, and I thank God I was able to navigate that successfully with the support of Vesti, so that I don't have to come and overstay, and I won't be able to go back on time, losing, loyal clients' trust. These are things, when it comes to trust, it's not something people just wake up tomorrow and say, I trust Paula, I trust, trust is something you build over time. So I was looking for something I could do quickly. I was looking for something that would give me that access to be able to travel. And at the same time, not just me, so that maybe when my kids and family have, some time to spend outside of the country, they too can join me on the business trip. My children can also, look at the opportunities that are around. Because, what we do back home now is our children will do, their first degree. We'll start saving a lot to send them for second degree. So what stopped them from doing the first degree abroad if you have the right documentation? And I have a lot of friends, that try using the other way that are not finding it so easy. But I thank God I came in contact with Vesti. I gave them what I had then, because you need to see my paperwork then and now. So working with Vesti was like going to a university. So I had to start proper documentation. All the contracts that I did informally, I had to go back to make sure that I did the documentation properly, and they were able to put the pieces together under a few months. Though it wasn't an easy process, because Nigerians, anytime we make up our mind that we want to travel, a month is always looking like a year. So we grow impatient. Along the line, I met another lawyer that said, look at your CV. Me that Vesti was trying to put my papers together to be qualified for OWAD. Look at my document, and it was like, this document will pass for EB to NIW. So I went astray for about 2-3 months. I spent another money on that lawyer in New York. And at the end of the day, we got, I think, RFE about 2 or 3 times. At the point, I just told him, I'm suspending this process. I'm going back to the people that assisted me, even in putting down my documents together in the first place. So I hope I've been able to answer a few of your questions. And
Yes, Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. And even speaking of from what you said, I would like to ask you what are the most, important factors to consider, especially when you're choosing a visa or a green card option. Which one, I think people might have issues trying to figure out which one suits their professional career goals. So do you have any factors to consider when choosing, a visa or a green card option that best suits like a professional's career goals?
Yeah, I mean, answering to that, I like to say that for me, it was easy for me to decide to go with O1 because I left school. I left school since 2000, and my highest qualification that I had then was HND. And I'll be honest with you, it was when I started the process with Vesti that I registered myself back for my master's in Manchester. And thank God, I'm done with my thought modules. I'm now writing my dissertation. It was when I was, when we're giving the RFE last year, January and February, that they can't use my HND, that my HND does not, automatically become advanced degree in US, not even spending over 20 years after graduation, that still does not qualify me to be gallivanting around that I have advanced degree. So they sent my HND certificate to, I think, West or something, and what was sent back to USICS was not accepted. So that was the first factor. The other factor is I was looking at the low-hanging fruit. You are talking about EB2NIW, you are talking about H1B, you are talking about EB1A. This takes more time than O1. You understand? So then I saw O1 as a low-hanging fruit. Let me start. At least if I'm able to put, something together that will qualify me for O1, I can build on what I've been able to use to get my O1 to then apply for the 10-year green card before the expiration of my 3 years O1 work permit approval. So another factor was I needed something that will not just cover me, but that will cover my family, like I said earlier. I'm a family person. Before I started this US-Nigeria short link, I think the longest I've left home since I got married in 2008 has been 2 weeks. So I want something that when I'll be able to afford it, I'll be able to travel with my family. So the O1 covers me. Give me the opportunity to transact my business, legally in US. I could put in for some contract, even with governments. I could start building my profile and position myself and my organization for bigger and greater opportunity. So those were the factors that I considered then. Yes, those were the factors.
Well, that was very insightful, to be honest, especially when it comes from a personal experience, right? But would like to hear from Paula. She has a few little things to add to relating to the topic. Paula is a legal officer, so I'm sure she has some legal information for us. Hello, Paula. Here with us right now. We just wait for Paula to join. Hello, Paula, if you can hear me.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello, Paula.
Hi, good evening, everyone. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you. I've had a soul time so far. Have been so informative, especially seeing one of our success stories on the call. So yes, that's a plus for us. Yes, so good day, everyone. I'm sure you've had a very impactful session so far. So I'm just going to address some things about the process, like getting ready for the visa process, be it the work permit or be it for your green card, or whatever other visa type you're currently exploring as a professional. So there's one simple thing, but yet the most important thing for the entire process. You need to make sure you have your documents ready. You need to know what the documents are required, what documents are required. So Olubimi spoke earlier and talked about some things that you have to prove, the requirements, the criteria. So all of these things, because most of these visa types are they're document-based applications. You need to provide, it's not enough to say it, you must be able to prove it. So you could, so someone is asking, can you list out the documents? So it differs from visa types. So it depends. For the H-1B, there's a different set. For the green card visas and other special talent visas, there are other types. So you need to sit down and take stock of all the documents you currently have. So some people have done this process and realized they do not have enough documents to proceed. I like how Mr. Falcone started saying that he already knew where he was going to. So that process would allow him start saying, okay, what are the documents I need? Do I have them? Because you don't want to get to a point where you just jump in and you get maybe a request for additional evidence, or you get an outright denial because you did not provide enough documents. So you need to sit down, take stock of the documents required based on your visa type. So that's one thing that is very, very instrumental to ensure you do not get an RFE. So sorry, I've been saying RFE, that's a request for additional evidence. So they're saying, oh, well, we want to apply or we want to approve your application. However, there are still some documents, or there are still some things you get to provide for us to, at least to push us to realize you actually need the approval. So that's just one thing that can help the process move along. Then another thing that is so instrumental is having expert consultation and legal review. So people would say, I can do this process by myself. We've had a couple of those. Bumi can attest to that. People say, oh, okay, if it's just this. Yes, people do it themselves, but you can never undermine the importance of having legal consultation or expert consultation and holding you throughout the process. So they will be the ones to tell you the documents you need. They would advise on the strength of your case. They would identify the weaknesses of your case. They would also be able to prefer suggestions. These are the things you can do. This is the timeline based on your evidence so far. So these are some important things you have to consider if you want to start the process as a professional. I don't know if there are any other questions. I'll just be right here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Paula, for that little input, but very important, very essential. Thank you so much for that. I want to just ask Bumi. She said something where she related it with you. So I want to know some examples of, strategies or successful strategies, right? Or real world cases where professionals save time and money, especially in their immigration process. Do you have any that you maybe chip in here and there?
There are quite a lot. Hi, Paula, how are you? Thank you for chipping that in. The story of my life every day where, you meet people and they tell you, I can do this. I've been doing this, I've been gathering. And I think sequel to this, I was having a discussion on someone who was supposed to go for a particular visa type. However, a lot, much more qualified for another visa type and had not even heard about it. So expert consultation is very important. And I think I also need to nudge in that a lot of people make a mistake of what we call expert consultation, which is popularly coined in Vesti as clerical, with a consultation is very different. They are very different things. A consultation is giving you basic requirements, just like I listed on this call, not taking you as a case. Mr. Falcone said his confidence was when he was speaking to Mr. Olu, who told him you are in the perfect place because it was taken as a case, not just as an O1 client. We had to take him in as this is what Mr. Falcone is, and this is what petitions him as an alien with extraordinary ability. And aside the fact that we were able to guide him, you heard when he said he had tried for EB2 NRW and gotten this particular RFE before getting a denial that he couldn't go forward. Expert consultation also means you are aligned in the right path for you. If you need to take it on a bit by bit basis to get to your final destination. He's there as an alien with extraordinary ability, with a lot more confidence to becoming a green card holder, if you get what I mean, other than just jumping into the pool and thinking you're doing that while shooting yourself in the foot. So clarity is very, very important in whatever migration process you undertake. Now, speaking of success stories, I have a lot. You can save time, you can save money. In the 3 to 4 years that Vesti has been in existence, it's been from one innovation and involvement to the other. We moved from the part where we needed to work with you, do physical reviews with you, your document with you, and we moved on to folder creation. From folder creation, I'm sure if Mr. Fakonlu details his journey and he sees the new process, it's like, oh, wow, this is a lot more better, because the legal process, you can see your own legal process by yourself on the very app right now, other than the usual document gathering phase that you have. Now, people have been able to save time and money when they ask me, okay, how much is this entire process? And you tell them, okay, the EB2NIW costs as much as $10,000. The first thing they express is fear. In this economy, how do you expect me to do that? And I'm like, okay, calm down. The first thing I want you to know is, and I'm saying this for a fact on this call, Vesti is one of the best legal and most affordable migration company you will find. I can give you details. Number one, I intentionally put the word legal and most affordable. I have a lot of people who would not put in so much work. And I think I can also, with every boldness that I have, tell you that I have the best league of attorneys. One of them, you just heard, Paula, the best league of attorneys who work on a detailed process for you as well. So the first thing we are able to tell you is, number one, you do not have to get started with everything. There is a process. However, the amount you have at the moment, you can get started. How have we simplified this process? We have brought every visa type onto the Vesti platform, which means even with as little as your clarity call payment and an initial down payment of $1,000, you start to upload your documents. So imagine I have a saving plan of $1,500 a month, and I intend to go on the EB2NIW journey. I know I would only be ready for this in 8 months. But like Paula said, I've been on the clarity call. I know the documents it takes me, and I have some of this with me. With as little as 1,500, I am onboarded on the app to start uploading all of my documents, knowing that immediately I reach the initial 50% that gets me onboarded with the legal attorneys, I can meet with them. At that time, I already have my documents, if not all, about 60 to 50% uploaded. So during my onboarding, what they will be doing for me is reviewing my resume and reviewing the documents I have uploaded. So I have saved time and I've also saved money. Another thing is I am in a better place because I am in the pool should any new policies arise. Because policies are changing, not even every day now. It's changing by the hour with the incoming government. So I can tell you success stories, people who have gone on to achieve their processes just because they decided to, take the opportunity and start paying small, organize their documents. Immediately they meet the mark that allows them meet with the legal team, then they get onboarded. And I can tell you of people who have also delayed and, we have had to start. I didn't know I needed this document. I didn't know it would take me this long to make this publication. I didn't know, and we would have saved all of that time if you had just gotten started with what you heard. So I can always go on and on about successes and the other successes as well. So that's it for me.
Thank you so much. Speaking of delays, right? When you said that, you just led me to my next question. So can you share any tips for how to handle, because I feel like so many people are in a hurry. They just want to leave, they just want to go. So can you share any tips for handling delays or complication throughout this process?
Okay. First, just one word, get started.
That's it. Yeah.
I don't have long talks about it because like my colleague Ola said, she's not saying too much because, every of their hour is paid for. I'm the only person that can speak for free. It's get started. That's the only thing, because number one, if you don't get clarity about what you need, what's the point? Number two, once you get clarity on what you need and you are aligned with the next steps, get started. And whatever you don't understand, ask questions. Be very clear. It's just like that. Handling delays and complications. Get started. However, when you're already in the process, I always tell people, how do you handle complications? It is a document-intensive process, I understand. One of the people you do not lie to or fold or hide from will be your attorneys, whatever field you belong to. Whenever you notice anything, please send a mail. I think that was one thing that was top of mind for Mr. It was always sending a mail. Hi guys, I think this is what I have acquired today. What do you advise? What is the next step for me? And immediately he sends that, they start to review, okay, we think this is what is next, and this is what is best advised. Saves time, saves delays, saves complications, instead of you, assuming that this is what you need to do, or this is what you can do. That's the only way you can handle it before you start. Immediately you get started and in the process.
Okay, one word, get started. Let's get started, guys. Get started. We are going to round this off, but I mean, Mr. Oluwabusi already said how Vesti helped him, assisted him. He said so many good things about Vesti, and I don't even think there's any need to ask him to describe the overall impact of Vesti on this move, because it seems he had touched every part of that generally. So if you have any questions that you would like us to take now, maybe Bumi or Mr. Oluwabusi, please, I would give us a little bit of time to ask as much questions as we can ask before we end the webinar. I learned a lot, honestly speaking, but like Bumi said, let's just get started. Let's just get started. So if you have any questions, please relate to the comments box. I want it to be as interactive as possible. I want you all to learn generally. So I am going to give us a little bit of time to do that, about 2 minutes. Let's see if you have any questions. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Okay, I'm guessing we touched everything. I'm guessing we touched everything. As we wrap up in today's session, I hope you feel more confident and informed about your journey towards, securing a green card or a work permit. And honestly, the key to success generally lies in staying informed and proactive. And I really want to thank Bumi for being on this call. I want to also thank Mr. Oluwabusi also for being on this call and saying so much relatable and real life experiences on the call. I really do. Okay, so I'm seeing that someone is raising their hand. You can unmute yourself and let's hear your questions. That's Chi Joseph. Hello, Chi Joseph.
Hi. Can I recall your name? Oh, Anita. Yeah. So thanks for the opportunity, and I do really appreciate. Okay. So here's my situation. So I live in Canada, and yeah, I'm here permanently, but obviously I'm seeking for a work-related stuff. I've got experience in tech, and I'm looking at options because I know about these EB1, EB2, O1, A, and all that. So I'm looking at the one that'll be very easy for me. EB3, I'm thinking, do you guys, because you guys didn't talk about EB3 here. So you're all focusing on EB1, EB2, O1. So EB3, do you guys have anything in that area?
Bumi, would you like to answer that or?
Yes.
Okay.
So we actually work on the EB3 visa. The reason why we actually do not go into all employment-based preferences, where we're domiciled and in Africa here, based on our own statistics. We have a lot more research on the EB1 and the EB2 NIW. However, yes, we work on the EB2 NIW visa.
No, EB2 or EB3, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, we work on the EB3. In fact, we work on the EB5. So
okay, cool. So who do I relate with? Because I'm not back home. So who do I relate with that I can easily reach out to all the time and ask some very good questions that would aid me further.
Awesome. So I just dropped an email address for every inquiry you have. It has the insights of everyone. You can send email to talentvista@wevesti.com. Talentvista@wevesti.com. And I can also tell you, I understand when you said you guys are talking about O1, EB1, EB2, NIW. There is also a session we call General Clarity. I've had quite a number of religious professionals, people want to migrate via entertainment, and they have precarious or different peculiarities to them, and they want to know about every visa type so as to decide which one is best for them. There is also a session called General Clarity Session. This is basically assigned to an attorney who takes you through every visa type, listens to your peculiarity, and is able to advise forward. It is called a General Clarity Session. So you can be aligned with that as well and get started.
Okay, that's fine. So when will these sessions hold? Because I think I can see that you can book on Calendly.
Okay, yes, I could align you with a link in a few minutes. So please, if you could do me a favor, can you please, okay. And please, if there is any way to contact him, I would like to have his email address and his name. So
myself?
I can reach out to you. Yes, of course.
Okay, I can drop it here. That's no problem.
Amazing. That would be fantastic. I'll take it on from here.
You will see it in the chat group, and because I know things are different here when you're here, so I'm just trying to see how things can be done. Because yeah, so there's it here. I've dropped it there. So
okay, amazing. I will respond to that immediately, and we can kick it off from there.
All right. Thank you so much, Bumi. Appreciate it. Yeah, bye.
Okay. I think Cassandra has hands up. You can unmute yourself. This will be our last question for the webinar. So let's just take Cassandra's question. Hi, Cassandra.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, I'm Cassandra. I'm from London, but I'm based in the UAE. I have a bachelor's in business and I'm a qualified early years teacher. I have about 12 years of experience. I'm currently in the middle of a master's degree in special education. And I'm wondering, is it better for me to wait until I finish the master's before applying for an EB2 NIW green card, or should I start now?
Hi, Cassandra.
Hello.
So you said you're in the middle of a master's in IT, right?
No, in special education and disability. Yes.
Great. What's your...
I'm a graduate in business and I'm already a qualified teacher. I have a postgraduate in education and I'm a qualified early years teacher, all from the UK. I'm from London.
Great. With how many years now? How many years as a teacher?
I've been qualified as a teacher for 10 years, but I have about 12 years of experience, but 10 years post-qualification.
Great. So this is another very amazing peculiarity. The fact that you have 10 years of work experience, number one, qualifies you, because that means you can provide me with recommendations, you can provide me with patents where needed. You can also provide me with the work you've done in the last 10 years. Also, the minimum requirement, I need to note this, the minimum requirement that the USCIS asks you for is a bachelor's degree. However, don't forget that at Vesti, we position you to be overwhelmingly qualified. The reason why we ask for your advanced degree, like I said, is because your dissertation has to do with it, your citation, your thesis, your research. But now you're telling me your field as a teacher, which means you've done quite a number of research. You have a number of research work underway, either published or unpublished articles. You have them on the way. So you have all of these evidences. And that is why we always have the pre-qualification tests, so that you take it and you see how you qualify yourself. So you can get started as long as your master's is in a few months. Like I used to say, there are a lot, it's a document intensive process. While you're working on getting your recommendations, your proposed endeavor drafts together, you can get all of this document. It's document intensive, and you cannot, because of one document, wait when you still have about 4 or 5 more that makes you a qualified national interest waiver applicant, if you get what I mean. So I would advise again, get started.
But my bachelor's is not in teaching. My bachelor's is in business management. But I qualified as a teacher later.
Good. But you have your master's in view, right? And this is stated in your resume.
The master's will be done by September 2025 next year.
Yes, you can get started actually.
And my location, the UAE, I'm in the Middle East. Well, does that have any impact on my on the application, or is it better to apply from England?
No, it doesn't have any implication, because what matters is your country of origin, not country of residence.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
So roughly, how long do you think an applicant from the UK would take to get approval for the EB2 NIW in your experience? Just roughly, I know all cases are different.
Okay, this is unpaid, but I would do this as an ad bono.
Wow, thank you.
It's more like a pro bono case. I've always stated that I can only give you a precise timeline from when I receive your final documents. How long it you as a client to put your documents together, I cannot peg it. Why? Because we are in different fields with different walks of life and busy schedules. We understand that we are working with global talents, and they are in different countries, different time zones, and different schedules. So we understand that. However, we are able to work with you based on when we receive your final time, like the final document. When I say that, okay, your proposed endeavor is good to go, the recommendations are already well written, put on a letterhead, well signed. When I have the final document and I can say, okay, this can be put together in a worthy petition with the amount paid as agreed and as requested, then I can start to give you a definite timeline from when it takes the legal team to put together a worthy petition for you to proofread it as the 4th and 5th eye, because there are names that your middle name is going to be, and of course, you have the name, you're the one that will say, okay, this is my middle name, no, not my first name. Put this together. This is how I want this submitted. And once you approve that this petition can be submitted, then we start to count. It takes at least, worst case scenario, we like giving our average from a worst case scenario. I've seen an EB2 NIW approval in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. However, it takes about 10 to 15 months to get a response. But there is something called premium processing that allows you to get your response in about 3 to 45 working days.
Yes, so I'm aware, like 2-5 years.
No, it's no longer 2-5. If you check the USCIS, like I said, updates are by the hour. it is now 2,805 when you check the website.
Okay, yeah, sure. Something like that. Sure.
So if you make that payment, you can, get your response in 3 to 45 working days. So those are the timelines I'm able. Now, immediately you finish that, if you are taking a consular process, and that is you are in your own country, either the UAE, and you can be in the UAE if you meet the minimum residency requirements in that country, or you can go back to the UK to take this if need be. But if you meet the minimum residency, I don't see why you cannot take your consular processing in the UAE. But if you would like to go back to the UK, now you have to, there are different timelines based on, don't forget that your approval bulletin has to be shared with the embassy to notify them that now they have another, these are the list of national interest waivers, and they will reach out to them for interview. Take note that sometimes these interviews are waived.
Yes.
All you need to do is just go for your visa processing. So if an interview will be required of you, they would reach out to you. And sometimes this process can actually not be expedited. So it is based on embassy, and you and I know what the wait line is for embassies. So I'm unable to put a peg to it. I think as of the last I found out about Nigeria, even with premium processing, is about 12 to 15 months because of Nigeria wait list right now. So I cannot ascertain for the UK, Kenya, and all that. They might have updates based on their embassies. Yes.
Sure. And is it better to get to the US to wait for that, or to be wherever you are in the world and wait?
Awesome.
Is it better to be in the US and do like a change of status, or better to remain in the country where you are?
We advise that sometimes if you can be in the US at the point of submission, I will be happy. All you need to do is adjust your status from whatever status you're currently on to a green card holder. And don't forget that they will still need you to go through, the medicals and all that, to just submit all of these things. And you transit. So if you are in the US, of course, it's our joy. You adjust your status.
As a tourist, just go as a tourist, isn't it?
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm grateful.
Okay. That was something. That was something. I'm happy that we are learning, and I'm happy that, we're getting or milking as much information as we can from this. If you have any further questions or you need personalized guidance, do not hesitate to reach out. As you know, our Instagram at Vesti Official, we are always there to reply to every comment that we see, every question asked, anything, we're there for you. Our team at Vesti is here to support you every step of the way. Literally every step of the way. Like I said, Vesti Soft Life, that's about it. But don't also forget to, take advantage of the resources and the tools that we've shared today to help streamline your process and save both time and money, because those are very essential things, time and money. But yeah, that's about it. That's about it for the webinar. I think that's about it. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining us. And I look forward to more webinars with everybody. And I look forward to seeing you in our future sessions, right? So yeah, have a great day, guys. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for the guests. Thank you, Bumi. Thank you, everyone, for being here, taking our time to be here. Have a great day, great night, wherever you are. Have a great day. Thank you so much. You know me, I'm Anita, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.